What are we going to do to stay fit this summer? Well, this is a big topic, especially when it comes to looking at years prior, where a lot of people have had issues. Maybe you've struggled with this, where it's like, hey, summer hits, shit gets crazy, and it just basically results in fitness and nutrition falling off the wagon completely and then picking it up back in September. So, what exactly gets in the way? What causes this? Number one, vacation. Okay. We all have those vacations where they're a week or two and we just kind of use it as an excuse to go ham. And I can say that because I just did it. I just went to the Outer Banks and ate like a total asshole, didn't exercise at all. And I can tell you right now that based on what I'm going to teach you guys today, I was able to not only not gain any weight, I actually am pretty much on pace with my weight loss as I'm talking right now. And that's because it all comes back to getting on the plan and not beating yourself up over it. But I'm not going to give away too much just yet. Just wanted to let you know that. I wanted to brag a little bit. So vacation is a big one because it does get us in this mode of we just don't give a crap anymore. We're just going to do what we want. And then that kind of carries over into the weeks and months after. Also, kids' summer camps always throw a wrench in things because those camp organizers always put it at the worst times possible where it's like drop off is at 9 a.m. even though you got to be at work at 8 a.m. or like 9:30, and it cuts it close and it makes it absolute hell to deal with, and you just feel like you now have to adapt to a whole new routine, and it's absolute BS. And it, like I say that it's absolute BS because it's like that shouldn't be something that gets in the way, but it is a gigantic headache. And then also work events a lot of times, like companies will do retreats and things like that, where again, we have this opportunity to let loose a little bit, and then that carries over and bleeds into the next few days or weeks or months. And along with that, I just got to say, this is that time of the year where seasons change, and every season brings another reason. There's always something going on. Don't feel like, oh, because summer hits, like this is my season where I just fall off. Like, let's be honest, when you come up to September, school starts up again. Up, there's another reason. Now we got to drop the kids off, bring them to sports and all this stuff. And maybe work picks up. So there's another reason. Then the holidays come around, December time. Up, there's another reason. Then the winter hits and it's super cold and you don't want to do a lot. There's another reason. And then we're into the springtime, and that's usually when everybody picks it up, but there's always something that gets in the way still. So just know that there's always something getting in the way, but it shouldn't hold you back because I'm going to teach you exactly how to make sure that doesn't happen. All right. So before we do that, like I just want to reiterate, the big issue here is getting in that state of the fuckets. Okay. We want to make sure that that does not happen because that is where the damage is done, where we go on these streaks. And it's not just a single week. It's not because I'll go into my vacation, for example. I can tell you right now, I did some things that were borderline concerning. All right. My fiance did a good job of letting me know that it was concerning because we got a family sized bag of Doritos. And for anybody who knows how big those family sized bags are, they're huge. I put half that bag down, no problem, and ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner and drank every single day we were there. And I just went absolutely crazy. So when I got home, I jumped on the scale, and yes, it was up like I think it was like 7 pounds that first day. But that first day, right back on the plan, doing my normal stuff, getting my workouts in that week, going back to pickleball, getting steps in throughout the week. And guess what? By that Saturday, this most previous Saturday, as I'm recording, I was back to the weight I was pre vacation and now 2 pounds down since then. So it's like, it really is not a big deal if you have these weeks or maybe even weekends where you go nuts as long as you get back on track. That's the key. But you got to understand how to do that so you don't fall into the trap of going on these streaks and gaining fat, losing muscle, and more importantly, losing your fitness, because that's the worst part of this all is feeling like crap. You feel like you're not fit anymore. You feel like you're heavier. You feel maybe some joint pain that wasn't there before, and you don't have to go down that route. So what the heck do we do instead? I keep saying we're going to talk about it. So what do we do? Okay. Let me start by saying this. If you can't stick to what you normally did before vacation, before that long weekend, if you can't stick to your plan when life gets busy, it's a shit plan. Okay, just plain and simple. And when I say that, I mean your plan should be able to include things like that. Like you plan and say, okay, I'm going on vacation. And for me, it was an honest discussion with myself where I'm like, I don't want to do shit. I don't want to do anything. I want to enjoy the heck out of this and I want to get back on the plan. And that is all part of the plan. It's not me saying, okay, I'm going on vacation and I'm going to be sneaky about it and say, ooh, I'm going to be good. I promise. And then I let myself down and I create that cycle of, oh, I can't trust myself when I say I'm going to do something. And then I come out of vacation and say, well, I still can't trust myself. I'm going to do all these things. And then I let myself down over again. And it continues into this cycle that so many people get stuck in. Okay. Go in and say, be honest and say, this is what I'm going to do. And then after that point, I'm going to do this and keep both promises and give yourself some grace if needed, because a lot of times people, their expectations are just way too high and their execution is way too low. You got to meet yourself somewhere in the middle. You got to raise your execution and you got to bring those expectations down. And there's a sweet spot in there. And that's where we want to be. Now, when we're talking like bare minimums to make sure that you can, one, maintain your muscle mass, maintain your fitness, and just maintain good habits when it comes to nutrition, here are some simple minimums that you can stick to that are going to keep you on track. Okay. Number one, at least one strength training session per week. That's it, just one. Because when you're able to get a couple of sets of a specific muscle group, that's enough of a signal that's going to be sent to your body to say, hey, we still got to do these things. We still got to lift these weights. We got to keep this right where it is. So if you can do at least one workout a week all summer long, then you're not going to be starting from square one come September. You're going to be right where you were at, and you'll be able to crank the dial up. But the key is not to let that dial go to zero. Okay. So if you can keep it at like a 2 out of 10 and you're doing one workout out of the week instead of your normal 3, 4, 5, or 6, you will still be in a really good spot compared to not doing anything at all. Another thing, too, is walking at least 5K steps a day. Now, this is probably the easiest one because now that it's warmer out, it's easier to get outside and do things unless you're currently in a heat wave like I am right now in North Carolina. Walking does not sound all that great, but if you are under that 5K mark and you want to bring it up, that would be a great, great spot to stay at, is at least 5K. Now, when people pay attention to their steps, just by looking at their watch, just by having some sort of a gauge of how many steps they have, research tells us that you're going to get at least an additional, like whatever your baseline is, once you start paying attention, that baseline is going to jump up around 2,000 steps. So you're going to be able to add on steps in that way. So that might just get you to your goal right there. So if you want to, you could get a watch. A lot of people already have it, or install an app on there and just pay attention to how many steps you're getting. And that could be enough to do that. And another thing too that helps with this is just having some time to do an intentional walk. And it doesn't need to be super long. It doesn't need to be an hour or 2 hours of a walk. It can be something as simple as a 10-minute walk. Okay. Maybe once you're done with your lunch at work, if you have 10 minutes, go and walk. Not only will that up your steps, but it's also going to help with improving your digestion. It's also going to help loosen up your hips and your upper back from sitting at the desk all day. So there's a lot of benefits to that, and it can help a lot. And then when we're on vacation, I have seen some absurd numbers when it comes to steps on vacation lately with the clients. Like some people are getting into that 15, 20, 25K range. So if you're making it a point to walk on the beach, to go sightseeing, to do things that require you to be on your feet, you will be a-okay when it comes to that. And then when it comes to the nutrition side of things, like I said, if you're going on a vacation or something, I tell all the clients, I'm like, please, for the love of God, do not track when you're on vacation if it's going to be a stressor. Because if you are trying to spend quality time with your family and you're really like stressing about food, it's not going to be as high quality of an experience. So do your thing, enjoy yourself when you're on vacation, and do what you need to do to mentally be in a good place. So if you do need some sort of guardrails to put your mind at ease, then fine. Like you could log stuff as long as it's not stressful, and you could even dial it down a notch by, like, one of the things that we do is go back to the PFC method instead of saying tracking calories and macros and things like that. So PFC is just protein, fiber, color. Is there a dish like when you go out to dinner that and you're on vacation, is there a dish that has some sort of protein in it? Awesome. Does it have a fibrous carb like some brown rice or quinoa or couscous or something in that ballpark? Or do they offer whole grain buns for the burger? And then colored, is there any way I could throw some lettuce and tomato on this burger, or like get a side salad or something like that? And that would satisfy that. And you don't even need to get all three. Sometimes you could just say, hey, I'm going to make sure I get some protein here. And that is enough to keep you in a really good spot. Because again, this is all about that dial. We want to swap the on or off switch for a dimmer switch. Okay. That way, when you are in these situations, you can dim it down to like a 2 out of 10, and then you can crank it up back to a 7 or an 8 out of 10 when you have more time and it's not this season of life. The key is just not to let it go out to or down to zero. All right. So, along with that PFC method, another thing that is really helpful that clients like thrive on is the one plate rule. So, if you're in a situation where, like, I keep bringing up vacation because it's so prevalent. But for example, we all had a night where we cooked whatever we cooked. So when it came to our night, for example, we did, oh, what did we do? I want to say we did tacos. No, that was my parents. All right, I'll just use my parents as an example because I'm drawing a blank here. But we had tacos, for example, and it was buffet style. Like, you just grab whatever you want, put it on a plate, and you're good. Now, it's easy to go back for seconds and thirds and everything. But if you stick to one standard size plate, then that's going to be more than enough to keep your portions in check and not go crazy. And this is coming from a guy that probably consumed anywhere in the ballpark between 10, maybe 20,000 extra calories throughout the week, and was totally okay. And now I know I'm probably a little bit bigger than most people, so it won't be exactly the same, but you can rest assured that your hunger signals and things like that are probably going to keep you in check, especially if there's some sort of just intention behind all of this. Is really what we're going after. Is, are we intentionally doing certain things to make sure that we're not going completely overboard and putting ourselves in a bad situation mentally for the next weeks and months? All right. So hopefully those minimums help when it comes to the one workout, 5K steps, and PFC with the one plate rule. That should be really good, because the key thing when it comes to your plan in overall, it should be flexible and simple. Okay. So when it comes to your workouts, you should be able to, say, substitute body weight exercises if you don't have gym access, or if you want to bring bands with you in your travel bag, you should be able to do a band workout because you understand the exercises, the reps, and everything that you need to do. And also when it comes to PFC, again, flexible, simple. You can implement it in any situation and you will be good to go. And that's one of the big things that people usually fall off with these fad diets. They have so many rules that you can't implement them in every situation, and it's just setting you up to fail. You need something that can get the job done every single time without fail. Okay, so that all being said, I know I'm giving a lot of really good information here, and I'm hoping you're picking up a few things that you can implement yourself. But I want to go to that like next level, because coming up, I'm actually bringing back challenges. Now, I used to do challenges in the past in the Fit 40 family Facebook group, and we're still doing that. But these challenges are going to be clients only. That's one on one in groups. So you have heard me in the past talk about one on one coaching, which is awesome. I love it. It's top tier, one of the best ways to get your nutrition and fitness on track. But I also have group coaching now, and it's been revamped, and the value is absurd compared to what it was prior. Okay. So with the group coaching, you get automatic entry to these challenges. And the July one is all about getting your workouts in. So if you want a good reason to get your workouts in, this could be it. Because the winner is getting $75 gift card to buy themselves a new workout outfit, and they're getting an exclusive Fit 40 t-shirt that is a challenge winner t-shirt, which will be a whole lot of fun. Okay. There's PFC tracking systems in the app and a full training on it, so you know exactly how to implement it in your life. There's customizable workouts that you could do that have body weight exercises, that have banded exercises that you could do on vacation with your kids and with your family if you want to. There's also community support. We do Zoom calls every single week where you get FaceTime with me and you can ask your questions and get them answered. And you could be around a bunch of other people that are on the same mission as you, because sometimes it's not easy to find people that are trying to do the things you're trying to do, that are supportive, that may be a chapter ahead of you, that can give you some really good insight. And along with that, there's also the client forum. Like, say you can't make those, there's a totally client only group in the app that you can have those conversations. You can be part of the family and really get a whole lot of value out of that, especially if you're not a fan of social media. It's awesome because it's basically like our own app version of a Facebook group. And along with all of that, I brought the price down compared to before. So now the price is only $37 US a month, and it's risk free for 30 days. So, if for any reason, like you do the challenge, you do the workouts, you show up to the calls, and you're still like, this just isn't right for me, that's totally fine. I'll give you all your money back, no problem at all. But at least do yourself a favor and give it a try because let's be honest, when it comes to your fitness, when it comes to your nutrition, when it comes to your overall health, would you right now, like if I said drop $1 in a jar and you will have a reason to do your workouts now instead of skipping them all the time, and you will be able to actually be better on your nutrition because you have somebody holding you accountable. You have this group of people that are cheering you on. Would you drop $1 in a bucket just to do that, just to make sure that, hey, I am prioritizing my health and fitness to set a good example for my kids, to put myself in a position where I'm going to not only live long, but I'm going to live a high quality life? If that's worth dropping $1 a day, or technically $1.20 ish a day, then go ahead. Click that link in the description, give it a look, give it a try, and get in on this challenge because it's going to be fun as hell. And we have another one coming up in August too, because I'm going to keep them going month to month to keep you motivated, to keep you excited, and to make sure you can finally get the results that you want instead of just listening to this podcast, hearing the same stuff, getting excited, and then doing nothing about it. All right. Let's cut that cycle out now. Go click that link and I will see you in the challenge. But that's it for today. That's it for this episode. I will see you next time. But until then, go kick some ass. Bye bye.